Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our special Facebook Live today as we interview Andrew Remsen from the Astros Foundation. We're happy to have Andrew here. Combined Arms has a wonderful relationship with the Astros Foundation, and we're partners on many levels. And we wanted to invite Andrew here to share a little bit more with us about the Astros Foundation today. Thank you for joining us, Andrew. Happy Wednesday. And please, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the Astros Foundation and share with our Combined Arms community?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having me on today. It's an honor to be able to speak with y'all. And as Linda mentioned on the partnership, we're very proud to have not just neighbors in the neighborhood, but proud partners of the many different groups that we work with throughout the year. And especially Combined Arms is something that's been essential to our efforts in the community, and we're excited about what we have moving forward and what we can do and many different collaborations. But as Linda said, my name is Andrew Remsen. I'm the Community Relations Coordinator for the Houston Astros and the Astros Foundation. And the one thing I want to focus on today, a lot of people, when they think Astros baseball, you think of the ball club and the baseball team and the players on the field. And a lot of people, when they meet me or they go to our website, they're excited to learn that there's a nonprofit associated with the ball club, and that is the Astros Foundation. We are the 501c3 nonprofit for the ball club. We're the raise funds to put into community efforts year round. And, being the nonprofit for the club, our primary focus, we have 5 pillars that all of our efforts are kind of streamlined behind. The number one being youth baseball and softball. I'm actually speaking to you guys from our Bob Watson Education Center out on Victory Lane in North Houston. Youth baseball and softball is the primary pillar of our efforts. Obviously, being a Major League ball club, we want to have the opportunity to share youth baseball and softball with kids all across the Houston region. So we have a year-round baseball facility that's not just baseball and softball based, but we have an amazing staff that's housed out here that does a great job of, not only applying baseball knowledge to youth across the city, but educational skills. And I'll talk a little bit more about COVID response and what we're doing out here right now. But they have a unique opportunity for anyone, any age, race, gender, it doesn't matter. If you're looking to get life skills, both baseball, softball skills, want to participate in a league or a team, I encourage you to check out the Astros Youth Academy. And not just the academy is an MLB-driven project, but it's also focused on the Houston community. But our community leaders program, when Mr. Crane took over the club in 2012, one of his primary focuses was he wanted to create a new stream of opportunities for youth in the baseball and softball realm. So all of the community partners that we worked with on helping us with the ball club at Minute Maid Park, a lot of those partnerships go directly into community impact. And the first step of that community impact is through our community leaders program. We're very proud of the program. In 2017, it actually won the Bob Seelig Award for Philanthropic Excellence, which one Major League club is given that honor each season for their work in the community. And for us, it impacts thousands of youth around the city of Houston because we have 13 different fields and leagues that we take responsibility for year round to not just maintain the fields, but update the coaches, provide life skills programming for coaches, uniforms, equipment, and kind of keep an eye on those different fields and those different programs throughout the city. So we take great pride in that, the youth baseball and softball sector. And then, of course, the guys on the field. So anytime we can bring kids to the excitement of a Major League ball club, we take great pride in that. So having that opportunity is a huge win for us. The second would be childhood cancer awareness. So many of you may or may not be familiar with a Hall of Famer named Craig Biggio. Craig Biggio is still to this day the national spokesperson for the Sunshine Kids, which is a local organization that has gained national attention and is now a national organization for children with cancer to enjoy opportunities with their family members or other children with cancer and similar opportunities, whether it be bringing them to the ballpark, going to the Children's Museum, or creating fun activities. This year, we started a teen program where teens that are facing pediatric cancer can come together and they kind of have the night to themselves It's been virtual as of yet, but we look forward to the day where we can bring them to the ballpark. And that's just one organization that's an example of childhood cancer awareness in the city. We have great relationships with the pediatric units around the city. Candlelighters is another organization we work with. But the opportunity to bring families and bring patients and bring those children together in a place where they can feel comfortable and happy and enjoy the beauty of going to a ball game that they wouldn't have, and take their mind off of going to the hospital for a moment. And so we're very, very excited about that. And as of late, baseball has dedicated the month of September to childhood cancer awareness. So we're able to take opportunities throughout the month of September and really promote different opportunities throughout the city for those patients that are looking for a way to get away from the hospital, take their minds off of it for a moment. A new initiative the last couple of years has been positive relationships and domestic violence. If you've gone to a ball game at Minute Maid Park in the last 2 years, you may have noticed in the bathroom stalls, a QR code is available to anybody that goes to the ballpark that may need some assistance when it comes to domestic violence. It might be in a negative relationship, or bringing to the forefront something that many people may be afraid to talk about or aren't aware of in certain situations. You have the ball club as a platform and the foundation as a platform to get that message out, to help those that need assistance or need our help, is something we take great pride in. And we have a lot of relationships with different groups, ABDA and others in the state of Texas, and look for some news to be coming out about that as well, and what kind of impact we can make in the Houston community in that realm. And then another is hunger and homelessness. Hunger and homelessness are things that are prevalent throughout the city of Houston. We do what we can working with the city and working with different organizations like New Hope Housing and Star of Hope, where we can kind of bring to the forefront volunteers or outsiders that are fans of the ball game, make known that, hey, this is a prevalent issue in our community. What can we do to help? Is it passing out water? Star of Hope, we have an opportunity before the holidays where we'll bring Star of Hope families to the ballpark, feed them a dinner, and give the families a chance to come and enjoy a different venue than what they're normally used to. And we take great pride in that, and going to the men's shelters and serving food, and just kind of bringing to the forefront that hunger and homelessness is something that we can help find ways to get people back on their feet, and what can we do. And then the one that's most important to me, something I spend a lot of time in, is military appreciation. I'm listing it last considering the audience, but it's something we take great pride in. We're very proud of all of the men and women who serve our country and those that have previously served in our country. So what is military appreciation? What does that look like? In my role, I'm responsible for building those relationships in the community, but not only that, finding ways that we can better advocate for veterans, for active duty military. What does that look like? And we kind of have it separated in two paradigms. We have active duty. There's active duty needs for active duty military members and families, and then veteran community. What are the needs in the veteran community? Baseball, obviously, is our biggest thing. And when we say military appreciation, we have 83 home games. We honor at minimum 2 military members every home game. But that's something simple. What can we do that's more than that? Last year, we partnered with and one of our large active duty military partners is the USO, which I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with. We do Operation Home Team. So Operation Home Team is an annual program, bi-monthly and then monthly in some cases, where we'll go visit MEPS. We'll bring players out to the MEPS and kind of talk to the family members that are getting ready for processing and telling their loved ones goodbye before they go to the military. What can we do to make it a little bit more enlightening, more fun? And so we'll bring peanuts, we'll bring Cracker Jacks, we'll bring cotton candy. In the cases that we have an opportunity to bring players or Orbit, just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit and kind of make it a fun-filled family event. On top of that, we have the fortune with our corporate partners like Chick-fil-A, where we'll bring meals out to Ellington. And due to certain circumstances that we're all aware of, we can't hand out food, but we can do a drive-through kind of processing. So we've been kind of doing a drive-through lunch when there's drill weekends or something. We know we can get on base and have a direct impact with giving out food and helping where we can. And that's just an example of a set programming. But for us, military appreciation is, we know there's so many active duty whether it's a recruiting station or a battalion, whether it's Fort Hood or San Antonio, they're all baseball fans. And we have a venue and we have the resources for change of command ceremonies. We have opportunities for swearing in ceremonies. What can we do to boost morale on base or off base for the group and battalion and make it fun? We really understand, baseball's America's pastime. We love, support our troops. It's a big thing, but everyone in our front office is very passionate about military service, and we take it very seriously. And so when we get a phone call from, general at Fort Hood or lieutenant commander here or where, it's like, what are your needs? What do you want to do? And an example of that, the 136 ESC was able to re-enlist over 150 soldiers at a ball game the past 2 seasons. And prior to that, we were able to do a casing of the colors and uncasing the colors ceremony on the field, on national television, in front of the 40,000 people at Minute Maid Park. So to kind of bring to light and bring to attention the things that civilians, like myself, I'm civilian before I got into this position, see the things that the military families and military members, they see on a daily basis, but bring it to the public light, see what it's like to be a part of that tradition, that honor, and knowing that sacrifice that family member is making, and not just the service member, but the family member themselves. So on the active duty front, there's a plethora of activities that we try to create to, whether it's morale boosting or getting a group out or recognition, we're all ears and we try to do everything we can within our capabilities to make that happen. Now, we're very fortunate to have a group like Combined Arms on the veteran side. In past, we previously worked with a lot of the groups that are underneath the umbrella of Combined Arms, like Wounded Warrior Project, Mission Continues. And to have a group like Combined Arms bring all those groups together helps us facilitate and find what the needs are for various groups in the veteran community so we can have a greater impact for veterans. And so our relationship is years long and very positive. And one thing I take a lot of pride in that I know Combined Arms does as well, in Texas, we have Women's Veterans Day, on June 12th of every year. And last year, we were very fortunate that we were able to host a Women's Veterans Day luncheon. And just like other opportunities that we've shared with the general public on what's that military holiday, what's that event, what is Women's Veterans Day, and kind of bring to the forefront, these are different obstacles or different stories that women veterans share and resources that are available through Combined Arms or through this group or that group that we can make known to the general public. So we're very, very passionate about how we can help out. Like what is the group's message? How can we use our audience to help you achieve the goal you're looking for? And Women's Veterans Day is one example of that. In pandemic times, unfortunately, we were unable to host the luncheon this year, but to be able to send out the resources the city of Houston provided, that Combined Arms provided, and get that out to our 10,000 plus volunteers each year to learn about that and receive positive feedback. Wow, I didn't know that. This is something that I'm going to look into, or I'm going to watch this movie and I'm hear about this. It was really uplifting for us because we know we made a difference in the fact that we brought to the forefront something that many people might not have known about. And I know Linda was a panelist on the luncheon last year when we were going through the different time periods in the military and hear the stories, what the ladies had gone through and the stereotypes and things, and to see how far we've moved in the military world and the civilian world and doing certain things was all inspiring. So opportunities like that are something that we look forward to doing every year, and that military appreciation front and just being a bridge to that community, whatever we can do to help in any way, shape, or form. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for, is to kind of create that opportunity. We have an amazing executive director and Ms. Twyla Carter, and she's very passionate about the military. Linda can tell you she's a patriot, and any chance we have to bring someone on board to discuss their military service, to talk about the experiences they had, and to kind of bring to the forefront things that we didn't know were out there. How can we assist? That's what we're here for. And so we use that term military appreciation. It's very vague, but it goes so much deeper into the community aspect of what is the need in the veteran community. And a lot of what we accomplish on that side, I bring up the luncheon as a great example, but we have a pool of volunteers. Our volunteer program has grown substantially over the last 5 years. We have over 10,000 community members that want to volunteer their time any way they can. And so if a veteran organization has a service project, I know Mission Continues does an amazing job, and Combined Arms does an amazing job with different volunteer events, but we can come together and we have the Astros Foundation volunteers that can assist with an event, like we do with Lone Star Santa this past year, or assist with anything. You know, if there's a cleanup, if there's something going on, we've had players come out to the Combined Arms Center and help put up the gym. You know, that's something that we take a lot of pride in. And so just anything we can do to help. Our volunteer corps is kind of the backbone of our community operations. They're our boots on the ground. They're the people that help us get our message across to help as many people as we can. And we take great pride in that. So in a nutshell, those were the 5 things. I know it's a little winded in that, but military appreciation is vague in the sense that we're still growing and still learning and looking for opportunities to make an impact in the military community any way that we can.
Thank you, Andrew, for that. I had questions, but I think you answered a lot of them in all of your sharing, which I think is so valuable for our community, you know, as veterans, but also for the community beyond. I think that as partners in community, I'm the community manager at Combined Arms, and this is really relevant to my mission and what I do as a member of our team. But I also think it's incredibly important for the community beyond just our veterans to see what our relationship is like. I mean, we're out in the community doing things, but you all are providing incredible support for us, from Women's Veterans Day, which you talked about, to the panel that you had recently. You do a breakfast every quarter focusing on your pillars, and you invite community members and organizations to come and share resources. And I was able to do that as well and connect folks to resources through that. So actually that was like my first month on the job. So after I met Twyla, so thank you for that invitation. But we really are pleased with our partnership, and we've been able to utilize volunteers from the Astros Foundation for many of our events. We've even partnered with some other organizations to bring your volunteers to come out and do the cleanups that you talked about, to put the gym together, but also to show them that, you know, we are welcoming that relationship, and we want to share more about what we're doing out in the community. So I love the partnership, and I'm very, very grateful for it, and thankful for you joining us today. I will ask you a little bit more about some of the types. You mentioned COVID initially, and, you know, some of the projects that you are working on during COVID and your COVID response. Can you share a little bit more about that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So you actually got ahead of me on the MVP. I was going to bring that up. So MVP is Many Voices Participate. It's a open forum that we had started about a year ago, and have had 3 up to this point, where we pick a relevant topic within those 5 pillars that I discussed, and have panelists come out and talk and have an open forum and discussion. And we've been really blessed that, you know, I always take great pride. If you look at our mission statement, if you go to astros.com/foundation, the first part of the mission statement is harness the passion of baseball fans in the Houston community. We all know how much we love baseball, Astros baseball, especially these last couple of years. Harness that passion for the team and turn it into community endeavors and getting out there and making a difference. That's what makes it so special to me as someone being a part of this organization, but to the Houston community. And I share that because, you know, right now we're in a global pandemic. It doesn't need an introduction. I don't have to share with everyone what we're going through as a nation, as a world, as a global crisis. And there's a need. And one thing that we take great pride in the Astros Foundation is, because of all the community partnerships that we have, we listen to those needs and see how we can best assist. You know, those 5 things are our mantra and what we practice and put into action year round. But, you know, just like Hurricane Harvey, how can we assist in that realm? We now have COVID, you know, and the biggest thing that we're doing, as I said, I'm here at our Astros Youth Academy, is we discovered that the biggest need was parents sending their kids back to school, needing virtual assistance on how to do virtual learning. What does that entail? What does that look like? My son or daughter goes to HISD, or they go to Aldine ISD. What is, you know, the different programs? Is it Schoolology? Is it the Hub? You know, how do I work in these programs? What do I need to learn? And just the basics of how do I teach my son or daughter? I'm not a teacher. Like, how do I get them on the same schedule so that they're on the same learning pace that they would be if they were in an actual learning environment at the school? And so I mentioned to you, we have an amazing staff here at our Astros Youth Academies. All are former educators. And so we came up with a program where for the next 2 weeks and hopefully beyond, we currently have an opportunity at 10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 o'clock p.m. You can sign up online. And what we have is a class on, the basics, like starting from what do I need to do for a setup? How do I get a schedule started? And then we'll dig a little bit deeper. Our commitment is one-on-one and helping anyone that calls to us for our assistance. And so we can dig a little bit deeper and we can teach you a little bit about the different programs and scheduling and things that your son or daughter needs as they prepare for virtual learning. And so I'm actually everyone in our staff has been instructed and given the proper credentials to teach these program or particulars to the programs. And it's been awe-inspiring to me, whether it's a class of one individual or 10, social distancing, we limit to 10 per class, to see that the need is there. And there's a lot of parents that are moving into a new part of their lives they never expected to be in. And so how can we be a small part of making it a little bit easier for them? And for us, this was something that we discovered was the biggest need that we've heard from the superintendents, from the coaches we work with in the community. And we're very proud of it. I encourage you, even if you know a little bit something about the programming or what you're looking forward to, for any veterans in the community that have sons or daughters and you're trying to figure out, hey, what's that next step? Like, what do I do? How do I set up a learning environment for my son or daughter? Come to one of these classes, come learn something. We do have some resources available as well. Everybody will get some hand sanitizer. Everybody will get a weekly planner. We'll have all the links and everything you need to our goal is when you start school with that student is you have all the tools you need to get the questions answered that you have. So if we can't answer the question, we have the resources available to get that answered for you, whether it's through the school district or through the individual school itself. Our goal is to make it as easy as we can for you.
Can you tell us how to register as a parent of a 5-year-old who's supposed to be starting kindergarten and who may bust in the door at any moment right now? I'm very interested in that. And I know that we have a spouses group, and we also have a lot of parents out in the community that are struggling with this. If we're interested in registering, would we just go to your foundation website?
That's correct. So if you just go to www.astros.com/foundation, and it should pop up immediately on that homepage with information on how to register and sign up for those classes. Like I said, it's something that we take great pride in, and it's a need. And we're not going to say you can't. There is a limit on the number of spaces available, but we will make opportunities available beyond that. So just let us know, and we're happy to help out.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that information. I think all of us are kind of trying to figure out how we're going to move forward with adjusting our lifestyles as COVID continues to impact the community. We're hopeful to see some of the numbers go down, but in the meantime, we are obviously adapting and overcoming to the challenges that are presented to us. Thank you for that. I'm just amazed by all of the things that you all are doing in the community on a daily basis. And I wanted you to share a little bit, maybe if you could, about the history of the foundation, because that was something that was surprising to me, not being from Houston, but knowing certainly about the Astros, but learning about the foundation very quickly once I started at Combined Arms and started making connections with folks. I didn't know that there was a foundation. And I think that's really one of your goals is community involvement, but also awareness of the foundation itself, the mission that you all have, as well as the programs in the community. Can you share a little bit about how the foundation started, where you've been and how you've gotten to where you are right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as the history of the foundation, most major league teams or professional sports teams typically have mission statements outside of the teams themselves to help the community that they're a part of. I know previous to Mr. Crane's ownership, there was the Astros in Action Foundation. And I don't know how much was in it or what was what funds were available, but I know Mr. Crane, when he took over the club in 2012, his primary focus is he has an X amount of dollars he wants to raise, and he wants to put it directly back into the community. You can't have a baseball team that represents a community without a community, period, represents that ball club. And I can't speak for Mr. Crane, but I can speak for the foundation that his vision is exactly what you're seeing come to fruition. Yes, the team on the field has been great, but the efforts in the community have been taking place well at the beginning phases. It started with the community leaders program and has grown into all the programming that you're seeing today. And that stems from his leadership, his executive team, Ms. Carter, who I've mentioned previously. She does an amazing job of taking the reins on different projects and kind of focusing those efforts in different areas. There are 3 events that we do that has helped us grow throughout each year for support. We can't do what we do without the support of the community. And so we host 3 events each year. We have our Diamond Dreams Gala, which we have in January each year, which will feature a headline artist that will perform, and then it'll be cocktails and a dance reception and dinner at the ballpark on the field. So that's our largest event. It helps us raise the most amount of funds each year. Last year, I believe we raised $2.6 million to benefit New Hope Housing, which is our partnership for the hunger and homelessness initiative that I spoke of previously. And then we also have a wives luncheon, which was just introduced along with the Women's Veterans Day last year in 2019, where the Astros wives will put on a fashion show, and we'll have a luncheon to help promote and raise awareness for domestic violence in the city and the different programs that are available to those survivors and those that are seeking assistance from different areas in the city. And then lastly, we have our badges and badges, 5K, 10K. It's a run walk that benefits the Houston Police Foundation and first responders and our first responder efforts. So it's a fun walk, run environment. You come to the ballpark, run through the ballpark. We raise funds, and then the HPD and HFD and the military as well. The USO helps us with different static displays that we'll put out for the general public to see. So that's how our primary funding comes from, to help us put back into these programs. And because of that, we're not only able to do programming, but we also have grants that are available throughout the year, which different organizations can apply for. And we're able to provide grants. We're able to provide scholarships for our Grand Slam for Youth program in conjunction with Minute Maid. We're also able to, in times of need, really give back. And I don't want to not include the players in what we're discussing. We are the 501 nonprofit, the Astros Foundation, but we've had great support from the guys on the field as well. So we get to be an avenue for those guys to use their messaging and their platform to help us grow. And I don't have to tell you about ambassadors like Jose Altuve, guys that get out in the community and want to be not just on the ball club, they want to be a part of the Houston community. Bregman raising $2 million for the food bank is just one example as of late. But those guys help us get in and raise funds and do what we need to do to be make an impact in the community even when we can. So I will say Mr. Crane's vision and Ms. Carter's leadership have done an incredible job of getting those funds and growing the foundation to enormous proportions to what it is today. And we're able to, I encourage you to go check out our website and take a look at just the impact that we're able to have because of the community and the fans, the baseball fans in the Houston community, and the efforts that are made year in and year out. And I'll steal a line from Twyla. She's always got an ear. She'll always listen and see what's available. And we might not always be able to write a check, but we'll always be able to be a resource in some cases, whether that's a volunteer opportunity or if it's putting your name in our book of what can we do to help. And if we don't have a resource, we might know somebody who does. And we take great pride in that. And she takes great pride in that. I know I take great pride in that when I get phone calls and maybe I can't necessarily help somebody through what our programming is, but we have partners like Combined Arms that has a slew of organizations that are working towards a goal to help with veteran resources. And I can direct someone to Combined Arms. That's what being a part of this foundation is all about. And that's what we take great pride in.
And we're very happy about all of the work that you do. The footprint that you have in the community is so much larger than I think people could even imagine. And as you're sharing, I'm even learning more about what you do and coming up with creative ideas to partner and impact our community in a positive way in the future as well, which is what we're all looking forward to right now, is how we adapt in this current environment. What are the foundation's plans as y'all move forward with COVID to adjust to the current conditions in terms of some of your events? I know that you mentioned not having some of these events in person, but also utilizing a virtual platform for sharing that information. What are you all doing as an organization to adjust to these changing times?
Absolutely. I think that the biggest adjustment is everybody learning the new technology. I know every organization has those learning curves. We're very fortunate. As I mentioned, we just opened up this Bob Watson Education Center on the north side of town. And our staff has done an incredible job of coming together, weekly to meet and face-to-face and discover what those needs are and how we can adapt. That's where the idea of the virtual learning assistants came to fruition. I encourage you to check back our website for some updates on other opportunities that we hope to have in the future. I'd be remiss if I didn't say we're disappointed we can't host the convention this year, but opportunities like that moving forward, we're kind of at the same. We're at the, I don't want to say at the mercy of, but we take CDC guidelines and state regulations very seriously. Because we want to have baseball. We can't be who we are without baseball. And in order for us to have fans back in the stands at baseball games, we have to adhere to those protocols and make sure we're doing everything on our end to keep our fans safe and to keep our community safe. And so I'd say the biggest adjustment moving forward is kind of focusing those needs on how can we impact now. This is not a military community need. This is not a baseball community need. This is not a childhood cancer awareness need. This is an everybody need. The pandemic is affecting everybody. And so how can we use what resources we have to directly impact groups in a way that they can take this during this time and we can be better as a result down the road. And so I think our focus as a group has really been around, this is an everybody thing, and what can we do to make a difference? Let's kind of put certain things to the side, not necessarily to the side, but let's be safe. Let's be, be in a position where we can provide something that is a resource, not to one particular group, to anybody that needs it, and grow with that and see where we go. But events, under those guidelines, we're following the guidelines of the state of Texas. And so until we hear from them, we don't know what the future planning is. And we're counting on the resources we have been fortunate to build up in the past to work with us in moving forward. But we're, like I said, we have the greatest fans in the game in Houston. We still have contributors. I don't know if you've been watching Astros baseball, but those fancy cutouts that you see in the outfield, anytime someone purchases one of those, the funds from that goes directly to the Astros Foundation. Those are $100 and can be purchased online. We have the face mask and the Texas flag COVID-19 shirts that we've been selling. Those are $15 a piece and $30 a piece. All the proceeds from that go directly to these efforts. So for anybody that bought a mask, bought a cutout, bought a t-shirt, all of the funds from that are going directly into this programming. It's helping parents learn how to live in that new normal. It's kind of been the new new phrase that we've quoted, but live in that new normal of, how do I teach my son or daughter in this time? What are these tools, and to be able to see, as I said, I've sat in and taught a couple of the classes, and whether it's one person or 10 people, it's really moving to me just how big of an impact it has. And for someone, I'm not a parent yet, one day, but if it was me in that same situation, to have this resource would be opportunity. So to say that we're able to take part in that and be a part of that, and work with our community partners in making that happen is really special.
I see that you're very passionate about it. Your passion is also a shared passion with our organization to serve our community. Veterans are we have our unique needs, but I think you made a very valid point and valuable point to say that this is this is affecting everyone. Some of the identified needs that we've seen are some of the things that you're already working on, such as food insecurity and homelessness and those types of issues. So, we have awesome opportunities to partner and to connect you with some of our member orgs that are doing great work already with the food bank. So, we can chat offline later, but I certainly feel like there are opportunities to collaborate and to galvanize as a group and create a larger impact. So thank you for sharing, what you're doing in the community with that. We're very happy to have you, Andrew. Always a pleasure, and very grateful to all the previous support that you've provided Combined Arms in the form of tickets or in the form of recognition of our veteran community, or even, like you said, Ms. Twyla lends an ear, and you guys are always willing to listen to us. And we have a great partnership with the volunteers. Your team over there is incredible. And we just want to thank you for taking the time today to come and share about what you're doing. And we want to be able to promote you all as much as possible as well. I think the more people that know about what you do, the more people you can connect with and get involved in this amazing programming. Did you want to add anything else before we say good afternoon to the crowd?
Absolutely. Well, I meant to say this from the beginning, and it's been on my mind the whole time. But for all those that are tuning in, thank you for your service. I know if you're on this website, you've obviously served in the military or know someone or in a military family. So for myself and the foundation, thank you for your service to our country. That's a big part of why we do what we do. It's because of people like you that we're able to have these opportunities to give back in so many ways. And so that's the biggest thing is just thank you from the bottom of our hearts for that. And then, we're excited. 2020 has been a crazy year, but the opportunity to grow in a way where we can impact as many people as we can is something that we look forward to continue doing. And I encourage you to check us out. Check out our website. Volunteer is the best way to get involved. And, fingers crossed, we'll have fans back in the stands soon and get baseball rolling. But thank you for your time as well. And the partnership is something special to us, and look forward to seeing great things in the future.
Awesome. We value our partnership very much so. And, it's always our honor to have you on. And, we continue to serve after service, and that's really our goal here at Combined Arms. So thank you for that. I do have a last minute question. I got a text that wants to know if you wear your ring every day.
In 2017, after we received them, absolutely. I have to call out of someone in our organization, a VP. I saw him passing it around to fans, and at first I was a little adamant, like I'm not going to do that. And then I just saw how much that ring meant to the city, and so I would do the same thing. And then about a year of doing that, a few times the ring dropped. I got it cleaned up, and I was like, all right, I'm put this one away until we win another one. And this year I've worn it proudly. The World Series championship, we were very blessed that Mr. Crane got us rings. The team received rings for winning the American League pennant in 2019. So that one's a little bit smaller and has a little bit more of a pop to it because there's some more diamonds in it. So that one I might be wearing a little bit more, but the World Series ring, I wear it as much as I can. If you've seen me out in the streets, you probably have seen me on it, but it's as much your ring as it is mine. Doing what I do, it's a community ring in the sense that we're not who we are without your support. So I love wearing it and sharing it with people, because when I was a kid, I was that little kid that was asking, administrators and players to let me put their ring on. So I take great pride in that, and honored to wear it as much as I can.
Well, we're happy to see it anytime once we come back to, I have a special guest. Yes, we can. We're happy to see your ring anytime, and hopefully we'll run into each other fishing or paddleboarding down at Surfside. So thank you.
That's my new home away from home.
Same. It's great to see you, Andrew, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and happy Wednesday afternoon.
All right, y'all take care. Bye.
Thank you.